let's have a run through problem 47A. More bond calculations, lots of present values to be done. I'll do them all in my financial calculator first, and then I'll circle back and I'll just do Starshot. I'll do the first one here by hand afterwards. So if you're somebody that has to do them by hand, I understand it's a little more time consuming, honestly a little more tedious, but it's doable. It's not hard. It's just you got to take your time. But let's go through with our financial calculator first, and then we will solve Starshot by hand. So we're given a bond table and we're just missing information, right? Starshot is missing its coupon. Coupon, by the way, is what drives the PMT, right? That's the regular payment is the coupon. It's the interest payment. So as I'm thinking about my financial calculator, I translate coupon into PMT there. Maturity is all about the number of periods. Price is the present value. How much would you pay for this bond today? And yield is our discount rate, or our IY in a financial calculator. So we're asked to fill in the missing information. Starshot's missing the coupon. So Starshot, we'll call this company 1, company 2, company 3. Starshot's company 1. It's missing the PMT. Company 2, Ascendancy, is missing the PV, the price, and company 3 is missing the yield. So that's sort of what we're going to solve for. The starred things are what's missing. Everything else we should know about these companies. So it's always like one thing missing in these finance questions, and here it's very plain that one thing is missing. We can compute it though. So let's start with the first company, Starshot. The number of periods here, 10 years, so that's 20 compounding periods. Our IY, 6.5% per year, that's 3.25 per 6 months, because these are semi-annual coupon payments, so we got to convert everything into semi-annual data. So 10 years, that's 26-month periods. 6.5% per year is 3.25 per 6 months. PV is the price, and the price is quoted as a percentage, right? So we're the company's asking $1,000 or giving $1,000 face value for its bonds. To buy it, you got to pay 92% of the face value. You have to pay $927.30 to buy $1,000 bond. You got to pay 92% of the full price. I put it in as a negative. Spat all over my computer screen here. I put it in as a negative because it's a negative cash flow. You're buying a bond. So the PMT will come out as a positive. That's the positive cash flow from the bond. And the FV also will come out as a positive. That's, the lump sum coming back to you at the end. And the lump sum at the end here is $1,000. We don't know what the regular coupon payment is going to be. Let's solve for it. 20 goes in as our N. 3.25 goes in as our IY. Negative 927.3. 927.3 negative goes in as our PV. PMT, we don't know. 1,000 goes in as our FV, and we compute PMT, and I get 27.4997. I'm going to just call that 27.5. Now, that is our payment every 6 months. So annualized, 27.5 times 2 is $55 in interest per year, 55 per year. Well, on $1,000 bond, $55 in interest per year is 55 divided by 1,000, 0.055. It's 5.5%. So our coupon would be quoted as 5.5%. 5.5 is the answer for part 1, Starshot. Company 2, Ascendancy. Okay, coupon is 7.5, so we're just working backwards from what we just did on Starshot. It's a $1,000 bond, 7.5% is $75 in annual coupon. Divide by 2, we get 37.5. That's what's going to go into our calculator as the PMT. Oops, I'm kind of jumping ahead here, but it is 37.5. Let's look at the N, the number of periods for that second bond. It's 30, 15 years. Semi-annual payments, that's 30 payments. Our IY 7.2, that's going to go in as 3.6, half. Our FV is 1,000. That one actually took care of itself quickly. I'm alarmed at how quickly that went, because I think I must have skipped a step, or I try to explain every step in detail. I might not have done the job there, but hopefully you're doing your best to keep up. I'm sorry in advance if I skipped a step there. It felt like I was quick to get to the calculator. 30 goes in as N. 3.6 goes in as IY. We don't know our PV. 37.5 goes in as the PMT. 1,000 goes in as FV. And then we compute, what are we computing? PV. 1027.25. 1027.25. It shows up as a negative number here because that's a negative cash flow. All right, I'll switch it back to a positive number. Now, we're saying what percentage, the face value of the bond's $1,000. To buy one, you got to pay a little bit more. So it's like we're paying 102%. So I always just divide by the face value, and then that number is my percentage. So 1.02 is the same as 102.72%. So 102.72, and whatever, however many decimals your professor wants you to go to. Seeing this one was 3, I was like, okay, I'll go for 3. That's as many as we're going to need. 102.725. That's the percentage of the face value of the bond you got to pay to buy a bond. Okay, last one. Number of periods for bond number 3 is 20, Silver Line Ventures. So 20 years, rather, is 40 semi-annual periods. Our PV is 117.468. So we have to pay $1,174.68 if we want to buy one of these bonds. I'll put that in as a negative. Our regular payment amount is based on the coupon. Again, looking at the third bond here, 9.2. So $1,000 times 9.2% is $92 a year. Divide by 2 is $46 every 6 months. And 1,000 goes in as our FV. Let's crunch the numbers. 40 goes in as N. 1174.68 negative goes in as PV. 46 goes in as PMT. 1,000 goes in as FV. And now I compute IY. Where are you? IY, there you are. 3.75. Now remember, to get it into the table, 3.6 was 7.2 in the table. 3.25 was 6.5 in the table. Well, 3.75 is 7.5 in the table. And there we have it. We've solved them. Our PMT for the first one is 5.5, or our coupon rather. Our price for the second one is 102.725, and our IY for the third one was 7.5. Congratulations, you've made it. You got to the end. As I promised, though, I'm going to come back and I'm going to do the first one by hand. You could do the first 2 of these by hand. The third one, I don't think so. IY is just torturous to do by hand. If it was even like 7.5, yeah, you could get there. But when it's 7.325 or something like this, it's trial and error to calculate IY is a pain. You can do it in 2 seconds in a financial calculator. But we'll do Starshot Company by hand. To do it by hand, you have to break the bond down into its component parts. There's the present value of an annuity, those recurring payments. We'll take the present value of those, and we'll also take the present value of the lump sum, the $1,000 at the end of the bond, and that combines to give us the present value of the bond. So this question, we're missing the coupon, right? The regular payment, the regular cash flow of the bond. That's what we're looking for, and that is right here. So that's what we're solving for. We should have every other component of this, and we do. We have the present value of the bond. The bond price is 92.73% of $1,000. So the PV of the bond is 927.30. The C is what we're solving for. We'll multiply that by... my bracket there went a little wonky. 1 minus 1 over 1 plus R. So it's 1 plus our yield. But remember, our yield is given annually. We need it divided by 2. So it's 3.25%. So it's 1.0325 to the power of T, the number of periods, which is 20 semi-annual periods to the power of 20. All divided by 0.0325. My brackets were way overkill. Let's make them a little smaller. Oh, much more beautiful. Add that to our FV, our future value of our bond, which is 1,000, divided by 1.0325 to the power of 20. Okay, so I'm going to solve for, I've already got my left here. I'm going to leave C. I'm going to solve for what's in the brackets. I'm going to solve this one. So let's solve. So solving for what's in the brackets. 1.0325 to the power of 20 equals 1.895. 1 over x, 0.5275. 1 minus that, minus 1 equals 0.47. Divided by 0.0325, divided by 0.0325, I get 14.54. Okay, so 14.54, C times 14.54 plus 1,000 divided by 1.035, 1.0325 to the 20th, 1.0325 to the power of 20 equals 1 over x times 1,000 equals 527.47 equals 927.3. So 927.3 equals C times 14.54. Now we're just in like algebra mode. We'll subtract 527.47 from 927.3. 927.3 minus 527.47. I get 399.83 equals 14.54 times C. Divide both sides by 14.54. So this number divided by 14.54 equals our payment. C equals 27 point. I'm going to call this, it's 27.4986. We're going to call this 27.5. And remember, that's every 6 months. So double it to get annualized. And we end up with a payment of 55. And this number is looking very familiar to me. 55 divided by 1,000 gives us a coupon rate of 5.5%. So that's the number that would go in our table, and that is the number we got earlier in the question. So there we've done it. We've done it by calculator, but we can also do it by hand. And the payment's hard to do by hand. PV, the price is easier to do by hand, and then the yield is very, very difficult to do by hand, but we won't worry about that. Okay, we have solved this in our calculator, and now we've solved it by hand. Hope this video helped, and if you made it to the end, for goodness sakes, I hope you'll hit me with one of those sweet, sweet likes. All right, have a great day. Bye-bye.